Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing. This is the Geary Cast for yet another English alternative commentary coming to you live at the later than advertised time at 1 minute past 7. I do apologise for that. This is my fault for having poor time management. Someone who doesn't have poor time management, however, is Senior Luke Chambers, who was here bright and early, waiting for me to come into the chat, waiting for me to set everything up, was keen as anything. How are you, Luke Chambers, this evening?
I'm very well, amigo. For the first time ever, I've actually been on time. I'd like to add that, but yeah, well, for really what? I was so surprised myself. But then I don't know if any of you guys have had any problems with the FEF TV app. I did an update, and then for some reason I can't get on it. So I'm actually on the Google stream at the moment.
I'm also on the Google stream as well, to be fair. I noted that you said that to me, that it was a bit hit and miss. It was, wasn't it? So I thought, you know what, instead of messing around this time, I'm just going to double screen it between
you've got
YouTube and the football match, and then we'll just go from there. But I'm just updating us with the starting 11 here. Change in from last week. Daniel Lorenzo coming in for Izan Marino. What do you think of that? He's excited a bit, hasn't he?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm a big fan of the youth products coming through Malaga. So the injuries obviously have helped him get his chance, but also as Mr. Alex Ashmore texted us just before, Victor Sanchez got injured in the warm up. So now we've got Danny. So it's Danny Sanchez who actually started. I don't know the issue. Well, we had to do.
That's a shame, that really.
Yeah, it really is.
Waiting.
It really is. Kevin's already glided through the defence. Evening, Paul. I hope you're well, mate. I hope you've recovered from the huge El Clasico Scottish Championship game yesterday.
It was massive. And I was going to say, if you're here for a bit of a breather after what was an enthralling game at Anfield, then you're in for something even better from La Rosaleda tonight. Last game of the season as well. Not last game of the season, sorry. Last game of the year, I should say, Luke. Obviously a bit of a mixed bag, hasn't it? As far as the year goes. Like, if you were to maybe sum it up in one word, what would you say?
Happy. Fun.
Fun.
However, if somebody said, I think we've said a few times on the Geary Cast, if somebody told us in the last game leading up to the new year we would have lost 2 league games, we would have snatched their hands off. You'll probably have the same problem as I have when you're talking to people and they say, "Oh, you must be miles in front in the league," and we're not, because we've drew too many games. But it's better. I mean, what happened at the beginning of the year? Are we happier now than what we was?
Oh, absolutely. I think we were reminiscing a little bit the other day, weren't we, about sort of coming into this time last year. Pepe Mel was promising us that by February we'll be out of the relegation zone. We just got a home win, a surprising home win as well against high-flying Alaves, who've obviously gone back up to the top division. So, it was... last December was a weird time for everybody, I think, involved with not just the club, but with the Geary Cast and things like that.
If you remember the excitement of Pepe Mel when he became manager, and it never really kicked off, and I think we're all a bit disappointed when he did get the sack. But again, we're all big fans of Sergio Pellicer on this pod, I'm pretty sure. We've got Michael Phillips. Hi, lads, on the way home from Emirates. So he's a happy man. He wants a Malaga 3 points. Frederick, good evening. Good evening, Frederick. Hope you're well. And Paul does not want the banter of of Dundee United.
Yeah, it looked like it didn't go too well as well. And I managed to catch I was driving back from Edinburgh today, and I managed to listen to the part of the Aberdeen Rangers League Cup final. And again, it sounds like... they were just pipped to it. I think Lee Stewart will be celebrating one from the Geary Cast Telegram group there. And then I finally got back. I rushed back. I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch Liverpool United here, because United have been really rubbish recently. Liverpool are wanting to go top of the league. And dear God, did neither of them show up. I should have watched some La Liga football. It would have been a hell of a lot better, in my opinion.
I think me and my mates regularly say it, Nick, because my mates are half and half. A lot of them are Man United, a lot of them are Liverpool. And I'd start to say it's the most anticipated game in British football. And it's very rarely actually a good game when it comes to it. Nobody wants to lose. I know there were 7-0 last year, so that's why I mean rarely a good game. But
well, that was it. I was watching it.
To lose, aren't they?
Oh, they really are. And I think I put this on Twitter yesterday or maybe the day before. And it was just a clip of Ronaldinho's best bits at Barca at AC Milan. And I was going to say, you know what? Football hasn't been that great since then. I think technically speaking, football has become a much more superior sport. It's all data driven. It's all they're proper athletes now. But I tell you what, they're not as fun. They're really not as fun. There's no characters in it for me anymore. There's no people who have fun in games. And maybe that's why we have a bit more of affinity. You know, certainly myself with Blackpool playing the lower leagues, like I say, with Málaga, who we're watching now, obviously in the Spanish State, yourself going watching non-league football a lot. Yeah. It just kind of feels, it's the most exciting league in the world, apparently, but I find it sterile. Does that make you weird?
It's very robotic. You know, you could have a team who's bottom of the league with 2 points. Say example of Sheffield United. They will still try and play the exact same way as a Man City. They're playing it out from the back. They're playing it to the fullback and then back, etc., etc. They're all robots. But I think that's why we love this Primera, because we haven't got a clue what's going to happen game to game.
Oh, well, that's it. Like you say, we were all betting our mortgages on Castellón, running away with it by Christmas, and yet all of a sudden, just a chance here for Algerciras. Easily gathered by Herrera, though, to be fair. Looking resplendent in pink once again. But yeah, it's the unknown, isn't it? Like you say, we were betting our mortgages on Castellón being running away with it by Christmas. They've been pegged back by Ibiza. They've dropped lots of points since the back end of November, and now
that caught me by surprise. Wide open. That really caught me by surprise this morning. I know it's only on head-to-head, but I was looking through and I thought, Ibiza top at league. When did this happen?
Yeah.
They obviously beat them the other week, and with Castellón's form has been a bit dicky. Every team in this league is going to go through a stage where they haven't picked up points. Luckily for Málaga, when we haven't been getting our 3 points, we've been getting our point. It's just a shame our 1 point games have been happening at the Fortress.
Well, that's the thing we've got to turn around, really, isn't it, in the new year? And I think that'll be where it's got to get worked upon for a lot of sides. Like I say, at the minute, with the point so far from this game, 7 points off top with Castellón and Ibiza. We get an extra 2 points here. We wrangle it back to 5, and dare I say, we've got quite an interesting January. I think there's some games which are winnable, easily winnable on the day. You know, we've got.
I'm talking about the Real Sociedad game, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. Names of the trophy already. But you've got Alex was saying that Intercity against Castilla. He went to watch that yesterday. He was saying this Intercity no good. They won't even be playing at their home stadium as well.
Yeah, strange one, that, isn't it? Very strange one. I mean, I've seen the pitch and it literally looks like La Carijuela Beach.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I looked at the pictures and I couldn't tell you which one was their stadium, to be fair, apart from the one that said El Dente on the side of it. That was the only one I recognised and say, right, well, that's definitely not theirs. But yeah, it's an interesting. But obviously, as much as we're saying we've got Intercity, who are, if I just have a quick look around, still 8th in the league.
Yeah,
we're saying that that could be an easily winnable game. That
it really is hotting up. It's really hotting up this league, and I love it. Nick, I've got a question for you. Or better, Michael Phillips has got a big question for you. So he says, lads, and I've got my view on this, and Laura's got her view. What do you think of Matt's Christmas jumper?
Matt's Christmas jumper. I must say that. I tried to send him the guy who taps his credit card down. I just knew as soon as it went on release that Matt would get that jumper.
Yeah,
he wears it very well. First and foremost,
he does.
He
can pull it off.
And I think if anyone else was wearing that, I'd maybe question it a little bit. But Matt Harrison wears it very, very well. But I actually quite like it. It's not too in your face. It's not overly Christmassy.
I see what you mean.
I see what in the middle, maybe a bit of a callback to the Kelme kits, but. Yeah, but it wouldn't be one I'd wear out and about.
Stick a little badge on there, and I'd be buying it.
Yeah, just like a row of them, just at the top.
Yeah, just anything. Just a few more in here, Nick. We've got Frederick just home from watching Lillestrøm women achieving promotion to the second division, meaning next year they will play LSK Vinner second team. No idea, but apparently it's big. And Frederick follows it with, so hopefully Malaga will complete this evening. We all hope for this, don't we?
We really, really do. I need it to complete the evening. Blackpool lost 2-1 this weekend away at Cambridge, which is not ideal. And I think, to be fair, obviously from the UK perspective here, we are coming into a really busy period of games, all the Christmas stuff, Boxing Day, New Year's, all that jazz. So we're kind of like ramping up a little bit now, whereas this is the last game of the year. There's going to be a 2 to 3 week break for some, and then Malaga especially, we're going through to the Copa del Rey next round. You know, they've got a chocker January now, so this needs to be the tempo setter. You win here at home, you put a bit more of a gap between the teams below, you set the tone for the new year as well, maybe, but you're also bringing yourself 5 points behind Castellón Ibiza, which is doable. It's still a gap, but it's still doable. But more importantly, you put a further gap between yourselves and the likes of Cordoba, who'd be just a couple of points behind us, I believe, or even further behind that. Algerciras, who were playing today, Recreativo, look like they picked up points. They've gone into fifth. Antequera seem to be falling away a little bit, but you know, there's still a lot of football to play. But you know, we need to position ourselves right. And at the minute, we're very much in the playoff picture.
Definitely.
That's not where you want to be come the end of the season. Not with this league.
You'd like to think as well. We've obviously, like we say it again, regular the structure of the structure of Malaga and the size of Malaga. That hopefully, if we are in a position to actually push for this top of the league, let's see a bit of business in January. Let's really aim for that 1 or 2 fans who are really going to really get us at Ibiza and Castellón.
You'd love to see it. I'd love to see us go pinch somebody from those clubs. You know, like maybe not from Ibiza, because to be fair, there are a lot of our ex-players anyway. So
I like to see Cordoba. Tear Cordoba apart.
Cordoba, Antequera maybe. That Loren looked quite handy for him. They've got a striker as well, who I think he's the third highest scorer in the league at the minute with 8 goals. You know.
I mean, this tonight, this isn't... sorry that we haven't actually spoke about the game yet, 12 minutes in, but nothing really has happened. It just seems a very quick pace, but this won't be an easy game tonight. As Roberto runs through.
No, it really won't. And again, it kind of feels like, from an Algeciras perspective, I suppose technically another Andalusian derby. There's about 9 of them this year, so we can't get too overly excited about it. But they kind of want to set the marker a little bit as well. You know, this is a test for them, but they go to the La Rosaleda. Oh, here comes Roberto, to be fair. Oh, he's gone down. Is it a pen? No, waved away. I'll be interested to see that on the replay, to be fair. He's kind of gone looking for it a bit there, in my opinion, but still the arm was raised. And it was Roberto who was basically through 1-on-1. Oh, I don't know about that.
We've seen it given.
Just the arms across the chest for me. If it was one, I'd maybe think, no, but just the second arm in there.
I think Roberto sometimes hasn't done himself over the course of the season in terms of going down a bit easy in the box, whether that hinders a referee's thoughts from time to time. It shouldn't, but maybe it does. These have actually brought, Nick, I don't know if you've noticed in the crowd, by the looks, a good 200 or 300 fans.
Not bad for that to say. Aldershir's probably a good couple of hours away down the coast. It's always on the signs, but I always can't get as far as Marbella, really.
As you mentioned before, Nick, in terms of all the Andalusian derbies, it must be so much fun being a Malaga fan, living in Malaga currently. These games where you're not flying to the Canaries and flying to Bilbao or the Moon or anything like that. There's so many games with...
Who's on the moon?
Real Moon.
Real Moon.
Racing Moon.
Real Luna. No, but do you know what? It is one of those things. You want to climb, and you want to be in the big league. That's where the money is. Even in Segunda, you get a fair amount of coin for being part of it, and it's all reputation and things like that. But do you know what? This league is a lot of fun. Like some of the players you come across, some of the talents that are out there, some of the teams, the stadiums that you end up in. You're like, oh, they're not all like
bowls,
big boxes type thing. They're all different. All got character, and the ultimate aim has got to be promotion. The club won't be able to survive for long at this level, especially with the way things are off the pitch. But for me, I quite like this league. I've been impressed by it. FEF TV for me has been quite good. The fact that we're going to get the second half of the season fixture announcement just before Christmas, that's like an early Christmas present for us, isn't it? We're both praying for a Saturday night game at home to Castellón, because otherwise I'll be very upset. I know that
I will be able to have a Cerveza or two for you, Nick.
That'll be. I did it last time. One of the last times I went, and we were playing Ibiza at home when we were in Segunda. And I went for the weekend, and then they put it for 9 o'clock on the Sunday night. I was like, I've got to go home at 8.
That were always one of the things with Segunda, like you said. Segunda had you on a fishing rod. You could not plan anything from up to 2 weeks.
No, that's exactly it. And I think, if you've got the ability and the freedom to maybe be a bit flexible or pick like a long weekend to really sort of encompass everything, maybe go from like Friday to Tuesday, which is essentially a week's holiday in the grand scheme of things. Oh, lovely ball in. You couldn't really play it. Whereas here, we've looked at ones that we really want and picked out the best ones, haven't we?
What minute are you on? What's the minute check, Nick?
Oh, I'm on like 16:20.
Oh, I'm on 16:40.
Oh dear God!
Let me try and pause. I'll pause for a little bit.
No. To be fair, I'll see if I can squeeze it up. I'm gonna press go forward by 10 seconds.
In terms of this game, Nick, and obviously everybody in the chat, please get involved. Are you expecting 3 points or more of a?
I am, yeah. No, I'm expecting 3 points. Fair. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate it is a tough ask. Algerciras are no slouches. They are, performing well in the league, and they'll be wanting to turn up tonight. But it's like I said before, if you want to go into the new year as a title contender to keep pace with Castellón and Ibiza, then we need to be very much putting this game to bed tonight, winning it early, and then we can sort of like have a nice Christmas as well. Because I think if we don't, and we go into that game against Intercity and we are, maybe 6 points, 7 points. Oh, this has been spilled. It's 3-on-3 at the minute. Here comes Kevin.
Come on, Kevin. Decisions. What do we always speak about?
Do you know what? Fair play to him there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he did nothing wrong there. He didn't. The space opened up.
That little cutback with the back heel.
Yeah.
Took his man away from him. It's just a shame he hasn't got a left foot. That's his problem, isn't it?
Another thing what's so fun to watch in terms of that, Nick, is especially at La Rosaleda, we play so attacking in terms of every time Algerciras come out of their heart, try and break, it's a 2-on-2 or it's a one-on-one sprint back and yes, an easy knock back to the goalkeeper. But we are always in the ascendancy. I think the quality has lacked throughout the season, but it's nice to see that where in past times in Segunda, we were sat on his box for a long time or...
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like now, as you can see it now, it's effectively 4-on-4. And it's all systems go. Get back. Straight
into it, aren't they? And things like that.
It's fun. It's nerve-wracking and it's no good for the heart, but...
No. I suppose I put it to yourself in the chat the other day, like, what is it that Malaga need? If we've got a shopping list in January, it's great to see we've got the renewals all lined up for the younger lads. Lorenzo, Musa, Carlos Lopez, and Hightam. But at the end of the day, Hightam's now out for the season, so good to tie him down. But he's not useful to us. I really think we need to go out and sign somebody with a bit of creativity. Really to basically bridge the gap between Dionio, Roberto, and those midfielders with the likes of La Rubia and Danny Lorenzo and people like that. So, it'd be great to sign somebody. Yeah. I mentioned Jonathan Vieira to you.
It's dreamy.
Do you reckon that would be something that, what kind of madness would you have to put together for Jonathan Vieira to go, you know what? Come over here, Costa del Sol, Malaga, towards the top end of the table.
The The only thing with Jonathan Vieira is a few years ago he had the Chinese move, didn't he?
Yeah.
So the money's obviously spoken. And I don't know if you know, I don't actually know what's gone off at Las Palmas because he's a bit of a legend there, isn't he? Is it just a matter of lack of game time or?
Yeah, exactly. I think he's played 9 times this season, I believe, which, if they were down towards the bottom of the league and struggling, you'd go, well, why aren't they playing Jonathan Vieira? I believe he's had an argument with Pimiente as well.
Yeah.
So that probably leads into a little bit too. But, they're 8th in the league, or they were 8th in the league.
They're doing brilliant.
Is where that meant. So it's not going too badly for them. They've got like that Malero and people like that. So again, I think they can stand to lose him. But it's weird that they've done it in December, and they're going to be saying he came to training sessions to say goodbye to everybody. They're going to tell us all next week, I believe, why he's leaving.
Yeah.
A lot of people tip him to go to Saudi as well. Like, is it in fact just getting one big last payday potentially? I don't know, but
it may be. I mean, I'm same as you in terms of where else. Malaga's got everything to attract a player without this sounding disrespectful. It's got everything to attract a aging retirement kind of player, if you know what I mean. Ruben Castro, although he balls it up big time, was the perfect retirement home. It's been everywhere. Why would you not want? How many people retire on the Costa del Sol? Why not play a bit of football and then enjoy your life?
Well, the thing is, as well, is that people have said, "Oh, well, that'll never happen," type thing. Well, it has. Look at Lucas Perez, who bought out his contract with Cadiz to go to Deportivo.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there's more to that than just moving club. He was a legend there. He supported them his whole life, so it made a lot of sense. But there are probably players of a certain age or a certain ilk that would go, you know what, actually, I wouldn't mind going, oh, well, we've pinched it here. Kevin's at his feet again. Well, that's unlucky that, but you've done well to get away from it. That would come here and go, actually, yeah, that sounds fine. The only problem with us is money.
Exactly.
And I think any idea or any notion of us going and buying a player, even from a competitor like Cordoba, from Castellón, from Recreativo, we're not going to put our hands in our pockets, unfortunately. We're going to be in the free market economy and looking for someone to come in there. Paul says in the comments as well, that with you, Nick, creative midfielder number 10 and probably a striker needed. And Ansten Staffsberg gives us a hello wave. Hello to you. Michael Phillips says it's got to be a goal scorer. He says that's got to be, sounds like a priority for us.
Yeah.
Paul Windus joining us here as well. He says, hi, guys, 2-1. Dione and someone else. I don't think that's quite added in there, but Dione on the score sheet. Again, Michael says we need a goal scorer. He's the league's top goal scorer. Finish. Fucking get it! Go! When you've got
Joaquin Gabilondo. And that was a perfectly timed celebration.
A couple of weeks ago, that fell from in a very similar position, and he
skied it, and it cost us points.
The car park. That is a tidy finish from a right back,
and we've deserved that. We have totally deserved that. A very an interesting thing, Nick. A certain Paul Windass, hiya, father-in-law. I do believe that this is potentially Paul's first live stream, I think, and a good luck charm, hopefully.
Fingers crossed. Nice to meet your acquaintance, Mr. Windass. Obviously named after a very famous Hull striker.
Uncle Dino.
Uncle Dino.
Uncle Dino.
The greatest striker to grace Premier League football, I'm told. But no, well, hopefully, like you say, it turns out to be a good omen here. It's looking good so far. And I'd like to see a stat as well. I don't know if this is actually true, but I think there must be something this season for when Malaga have gone in the league at home. I don't think they've lost. I'd have to double check to make sure I'm not lying.
I think you're about spot on, really, because when you think about it, we haven't conceded too many. The times when we've conceded, we've actually been there, and they've got beat.
Oh no, it still massively upsets me that
it really honestly
unbeaten talker.
When you tell people about it, there was 12 games unbeaten. 20 blokes fly into Malaga for a jolly up with a geary cast, and we lose to one of the worst teams in the league. Oh my God. Well, that's the joys of Malaga.
Michael says, I said 0-0. Good job. My predictions are always crap. Vamos, Malaga. And Paul says, Dean Wind has 3 red cards in 1 game at Tannadice. That's how you do it, Paul.
Do you know?
That is how you do it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
the goal scorer. Now the right back's popped up. Seems like everybody but the strikers are notched at the minute for us.
But that's not always a bad thing. In terms of the strikers, but I mean, I dare say 4 or 5 weeks ago, you looked at his top goal scorer list and you're thinking, who's actually going to score out these goals for us? But like even now, look how high Hakeem is.
Yeah, it's more like a wing back, isn't it? Oh, that's a lovely ball in. Roberto. Oh, I think he's got the corner, to be fair. Good defending.
I think Pellicer has definitely turned the Pelly press on tonight. Malaga absolutely all over Algerciras.
That's a lovely ball in, to be fair. Quite a good touch as well from
not bad defending, really. It's not bad defending.
No, just to get that leg out as well. He's done him a massive service there.
Where's our friend Chris Marquez? He's in there somewhere, bouncing away, we believe. Fonda so lively as ever. 26 minutes in, Malaga corner. Something a bit different.
They are bouncing. Oh, short. What is going on?
Short then long. Short then very long.
That is a searching ball. It's a kind of ball that'll find. I'm not going to say what I'm going to say there, actually.
It reminds me of a bit of a Juan Fran.
A Juan Fran special. I saw this today with the Man United Liverpool game. This playing out from the back short and not letting the goalkeeper take.
Yeah, it just doesn't work.
The opening knock. And I was watching that and I was seeing Salah and Nunez waiting. Oh, here they come.
Yeah, I mean, styles of play come and go within football, but I really dislike this one at the moment. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, for the latter stages of my career, I played as a right back kind of thing, and these passes were getting put out to the fullback under so much pressure. It just don't make any sense in my eyes. I won't want the ball there.
No. Oh, there's a card being dished out here.
Card. Is that Danny Sanchez?
I know. I think he tried to get the ball in front of his man, and he managed to go through and he picked up a booking for it.
Oh no, it's Oh,
I think Moreno gets the ball, and then it's just a leave behind, isn't it? Really, he's won the ball though. To be fair.
Put it this way, with how football is these days and how the Segunda VAR is, I am glad we have not got VAR right now.
No, but he needs to maybe stop gestating a little bit and just get up and get given, head down.
Were you quite surprised that Einar played, Nick, or were you happy enough to see him? I mean, you can't just drop someone off one bad performance, but Musa's played two good games, or was this game a little bit too big for him?
I think the struggle is that when you've got Murillo and him playing as well as he is, you always need to have someone in there that's got that experienced head on it. I think Matt was saying that a lot the other week with the difference between maybe like Aaron Ochoa Maloney, who we have to say his full name as well. It's a disgrace.
I agree.
Island that you were shortening his name.
It was a disgrace on the podcast.
It was a disgrace on the podcast. Yeah, I was putting up a balaclava and everything at the time. Get back to Matt in revenge, but it's one of them for me that he was absolutely spot on. That you had the tidy football of like Lorenzo and Gennaro, and who are kind of scared to make mistakes a little bit, really, aren't they? So they'll always play the safe pass. They'll always knock it through in a nice, tidy manner. But with Aaron Ochoa Maloney, you get that kind of like freedom to make a mistake. Oh! That nice little flick there from Einar. So the point I was trying to make, whilst I was trying to make this really long point, is that to have the fun of Murillo, we need to kind of like, he needs a guardian.
I agree.
An experienced head who can do some of the dirtier work.
I agree.
And I think it's the same in that midfield as well. Looking at the formation today, we've gone for a 4-2-3-1, haven't we? by the looks of things. And you've got Isa Marino in there. We've also got Gennaro in there to be the experienced head and to do the good stuff. Is that in?
No, yeah, it is, but
well, that would have been a nice goal for Marino as well.
Yeah, I think he must be a push or something. There's a foul in there somewhere.
Soft.
But yeah,
soft.
I totally agree with what you're saying. Defensively, we've been sound all season. You can't make too many changes. I mean, if he potentially put Musa in there tonight and it all went tits up, it's not going to be good for anybody's confidence. And people would then be looking at Sergio and thinking, why the need to change things?
What have you done that for? Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. You know, he basically gives you that grit, doesn't he?
Yeah.
To be able to play a bit more expansively and to do the dirty work, as I've said. But I wouldn't have a problem with Murillo and Musa. It would just lack that experience for me. And in those bigger moments when, you know, every striker you seem to come up against in this league is, you know, a bit like a non-league stalwart. You know what I mean? Who knows this league, who's been there, done that. He knows how to get in the heads of people and he'll wind you up. Doing that to a couple of lads who are under 23 is probably not the wisest thing.
This was my point the other week against San Luquenio when Mwepu is an absolute tank. He's a big boy. But Murillo, although it wouldn't have been on the highlight reel, he had him in his pocket. He dominated him in the air. He muscled him away. You really saw how good of a defender he was that night. We've also got to look at it and think, fingers crossed, in the next couple of weeks, we may see players like Juande. I imagine Monte is going to be more February-ish.
Yeah.
How many players can you be? It sounds silly, but giving that game time to then in 3 weeks' time, thank you very much, get back out there, if you know what I mean. I mean, Musa may never play again, if you know what I mean, when the big boys are back.
Well, that's exactly it. And on your day, you look at Nelson Monte and the quality that he brings. That you would expect him to be the first name on the team sheet, even when he does come back. And you know that's with Rio and I are playing world class.
If you had a fit Juande for the Intercity game on the 2nd of Jan, which one of these two guys? Obviously, Juande would probably start on the bench, but say for example he's guaranteed a start. Which one of these two would be dropping out?
Well, I think if it was a matter of switching him in and out, then Juande for Einar would be the one I would do. Just given how well Murillo's performed, to be fair, it's like you look at a talent that comes through like that, you can't just cut it off because a more senior head's come through. But if you was to ask me who would I play alongside Murillo, again, I would probably go for Einar. I think we can sometimes see Juande gets found out a bit easily and, likes to play a high line and can, the ball going over the top and things like that. Whereas Einar seems to read the game a lot better.
Yeah.
He's not performing to the best of his ability at the minute for me, but that is a small part of his game, in my opinion.
People coming.
Maybe a question for the group chat. That is, Luke. Getting to your comments. If you was to have all centre back pairings available to you, no injuries, no suspensions, who would you go for? What would your pairing be alongside that? Would you go free at the back? Would you look at
I thought at the beginning of the season, the three at the back, with how we were shaping up in terms of the real strength at centre half, was the way that we were going to go forward. I do now, judging the league and looking at it, I do think we should be very much more forward thinking. I've always been a huge fan of Juande, but I understand his injury concerns, etc. I probably wouldn't argue with Monte and Juande. But now they found Murillo, it would be very, very hard to take him out. And like we saw at the beginning of the season, he came in as a left back. But in terms of left back, Danny Sanchez is... I mean, when Victor got injured, we were very much nervous. But Danny Sanchez has come in and done quite a silent job, but a great job, really.
Yeah, very, very, a very sturdy pair of feet for us, really, isn't he? And
it really is.
The fact that he's proper Malagista as well. He's loving being here. Which it's such an important part of it. I think Chris was saying on the pod this week, saying, "Oh well, you know, we don't want people coming here just to pick up a paycheck and things like that. And he's certainly not doing that. Well, that's a lovely ball in. Ooh. That's a shame.
I mean, I think what you're trying to say is very much what I always think in my head, kind of thing. Malaga is a club currently, which we've all been to La Faleda, and it is a very, very Malaguista feel, a family feel. Everyone's together. At the moment, if you've got so many, this is like a Yorkshire boys team. You guys are all from the same area and everything, which obviously creates a togetherness. I mean, a lot of these guys, I know it's easy to say, and obviously I know they wouldn't have played in the exact same ages. A lot of these guys would have known each other for maybe since 10 years old, kind of thing.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I come across those kind of teams all the time in football that have aged through, and like you literally hear the stories of, oh, well, we were all in the same team at kids level, at youth level, and then we all went and played Sunday league football, and we were all, you know, we just aged up and went and played Saturdays and then Sundays, and now we're all playing vets football. Oof, it's a telling little head of that.
Through my Saturday team where I finished, obviously, my best friend, we've played together since we were 4-year-old, through juniors, into Saturdays, 33 years old, etc. But from our junior team, from 17 years old, we then became our Saturday team. So we was one of the few teams where you had 10 players from 16 years old until 30 odd years old. And it's probably what made us a good team. Didn't they? Yeah, it's what made us a good team.
Oh dear.
I've got away with it.
See, that's it there. That's where oh, here he goes. Oh, for crying out loud. But that's absolutely the point we're trying to make there is when you've just got that moment of lapsed concentration from a young lad who's just like froze a little bit, and now just comes through and just puts his foot through it, just boots it out, and just goes, you know what, fuck it, gone, dealt with.
The only gone into the book, isn't it?
Yeah, it's showing that he's backed into their fan there.
But seems very harsh, that. But 2 yellows from Malaga, and discipline's not been an issue. I mean, he looks a very old boy, him.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that is Yak Diori. Maybe.
Still check. Yeah, I'm gonna go with him. Oh, he seems to have got. Oh, he went in a little bit with the elbow there. To be fair, just looking on that replay, he might be a bit of a lucky boy here.
Potentially.
37 minutes on the clock. I've got 37 and a half. I'm at.
Yeah, exactly. 37, 30, 37, 40 now. Just turning.
Yeah, that's me as well. Well, at least we're on the same page.
Yeah, I mean, it's been obviously we haven't really spoken too much about the game in terms of not much has happened, but it still seems a real pace to it.
It seems like we're on top, which is always helpful. Like I say, we're just waiting for this drop down ball here, and
that's got to be a yellow card, surely. I also think with these, Nick, when I mentioned earlier about Malaga playing a very open back line, every time we're going forward, it seems like it's a 2-on-2 in their middle as well. This is Primera football. This is what we love.
This is where we go for it, isn't it? So, yeah, I'm just looking ahead at some of the games in January. It's a proper mixed bag. You take out that Real Sociedad game, and you've got 4 matches. One against Intercity, who are currently 8th, and then you've got a 2-week gap, and you've got a trip away to Ceuta. So, again, 2 away games in a row, maybe why this is so important to get a result here.
Yeah.
And then Malaga at home to Castellón, who obviously are top of the league or joint top of the league, and then finishing the month off with a little away trip to Recreativa Granada. And as things stand, Malaga will have then 3 games on the bounce when they are currently playing sides who are in the relegation zone. So they'll have Atletico Baleares in start of February, bottom of the league Melilla, a trip away there in February as well, Recreativa at home, and then Alcoyano away. And then you're really not playing another top of the table side until the start of March.
Yeah.
So plenty of football to go at there. I'm just seeing how far we go through. This league goes all the way right up to the end of May as well. I wasn't aware of that. I thought it was the start.
I would say that if we go into, I do believe. I mean, I know we've said a lot about the playoffs, and playoffs are playoffs, the lottery. Nobody knows what's going to happen. But I'm sure this time last year, here we go. Dione, finish. Oh, save.
That's a lovely take from Dione too.
Yeah, whereas this time last year, I do believe that was the last season of the 16 games where if you win, you go to a different region, then another region and another region, etc. As far as I'm aware, this year it literally is just a 4-team playoff from Group 01 and Group 02. In terms of that, I mean, like we mentioned earlier, they're all local derbies, minus Ibiza and Castellón. There's not
pretty much.
There is not going to be any easy games in there, and that's a shite corner. This potentially Nick, where we talk about we could have done with that second goal, just to comfort us a little bit more.
I tell you what, though, looking at February, if you don't have a perfect February, 12 points from 12 points, then there is something really wrong.
Roberto, great take. I could tell you where we're going to go wrong, Nick. Me and Laura's out on the 3rd of February. I don't think Laura's ever seen them win in like 6 games. Atletico Benares at home. That's the game.
Is that when you're out as well, is it?
Yeah, I mean...
Are you doing Castellón? Is Laura coming to Castellón?
No. I'm flying solo for that one.
Oh, nice. I see.
But, I mean, if we go to Alcoyano, San Luqueño and Baleares and don't win in them, the girl's never coming again, bless her. And I do think she's just walked by going to the toilet, so I'll probably get an earful for that in a bit.
I think I might have to aim for maybe, hopefully Castellón works out, and then maybe not again until the 2nd of March. Ibiza at home might be a good one, and then I should be in Spain for Ceuta at home as well.
Very nice.
With it being Easter holidays, and then I don't know, maybe let's have a look for someone like. Maybe I'll have to save myself for the Castilla trip away. Maybe.
Well, I think finish. Nah, too much. Finish. Somebody.
Someone's going to get there.
Plays great ball. I think, did Chris say official, unofficial Gericas meetup in April, were it?
I don't know.
Chris Marquez effect.
Yes, exactly.
Where flying and money is not an object. Yeah. For anybody living in Spain.
We shall see. I think that's what I probably look to try and get away with.
Yeah. The thing is, I mean, I say it to a lot of people. In terms of flight prices, if you wanted to watch Malaga games, you've got to try and take advantage of the November, December, January, Feb, where the flights aren't that pricey. I mean, even the Castellón game, if you rolled that over a month's time, there's £50 on top of flights.
Oh, easily.
That's then the end of March. There's probably 100. Obviously, the weather, everything. People want to travel to the Costa del Sol in the summertime.
Well, that's it. We're going to go. Oh, Dione's through. Dione! What a save. La Rubia. Gennaro.
What's happening? Finish.
Oh, you're up for it. Dione's very.
I do want to point out here, Nick. Dione's up for this. Dione has definitely had his Bocadilla for a change.
It is. It looks like he's had a big Bocadilla as well.
It looks like a very big Bocadilla.
Right, but to be fair though, how is he not finishing there? That needs to be.
I do agree.
I get what he's doing. He's opened up his body. He's going for the bottom corner, but he must know the goalkeeper's going to go to ground there. For
maybe the league, well, for the actual league's most, what do you call it? The best striker the league's ever seen, apparently.
Ever seen.
It doesn't really finish much. For us,
I think it says more about the level than it does about that.
Yeah.
Well, it's a big header.
Imagine what Dean Windass would have done in this league.
Dean Windass would have mopped up in here, and he would have he would have survived on his retirement with a bar in Benalmádena or Torremolinos or in Fuengirola called Dino's.
I may have had a drink in Dino's thinking about it.
And he would have been straight after the game. He would have come up, turned up, scored 3 goals straight after the game on the pints. And then he'd wait on Fuengirola Beach on Sunday morning, and then just turn into training on Thursday afternoon. And then do it all again.
Corner. We must have nearly had 10 corners in this game, really. Sanchez whips it in, defended well. Back out to Kevin, who's going to dance on it for a few minutes, I imagine. But just jumping back to the comments, Nick, I think last one, Michael Phillips. Right, lads, destination, got 20-minute car ride. See you for the second half. The guy's got commitment there. He's been to the Emirates. He's travelling through London whilst watching a stream. Paul Henahan, will someone please just put it in the net? We totally agree. Let's get this game done with. I also feel like I'm cheating tonight. I had no Victoria left. I've gone on the Estrella Galicia, the Rocket Fuel.
Oh, you're talking. Well, I've got the Alhambra Reserva downstairs, cooling in the fridge.
Right, that's super diesel.
I would not like to guess how much I spent on alcohol yesterday.
Yeah, we had our trip today. Minus my Victoria. I've got my Victoria bundle to get shortly. Well, yeah, that's 46 minutes, Nick, with 1 minute added on. So I assume that's going to be it. What do we think of the half? Or everybody in the comments, what do we think of the half?
I think it's definitely been a well-controlled game for Malaga, to be fair. I don't think Algerciras have offered too much in the way of a test for us. But
I can't really see what these bring to be where they are in the league. I know we've said before, a lot of teams do beat each other. There's an ACCA in this league would be horrible to try and run. But for these to be 6th or 7th in league, I don't really know what they're bringing.
Well, I think this is it. I think when they start to play each other, it's like any result could happen. When those kind of teams, it sounds very kind of like elitist of me, but when those kind of teams start playing each other, then anything could happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I'm about a minute behind. Just realised.
Oh, you're not there yet.
The game was still going. I was like, I thought it was at half time.
Yeah. The thing is now, I mentioned it to Laura earlier, because there's only us two guys available. All there's the socials now and everything. I mean, I'm glad this isn't a thought. To be fair, I've not even put the goal. I don't know if you did.
I've put it up in the corner. I've not put it on Twitter or anything like that.
I'll let everybody know there's been a goal.
Yeah. We scored, by the way. Paul says, under no pressure, you should really score more than one. I absolutely agree with you, Paul, on that one. I think it seems to be a repeating situation for us that we aren't putting teams to bed at the minute. You know, obviously we scored 4 against Real Murcia a couple of weeks ago, but we haven't really done the same at home, have we? There's not really been, I think, maybe except it was either the Atletico Madrid game or the Recreativo Granada game where we scored multiple goals as well. But other than that, it's usually only been like draws or 1-0 wins or 2-1 wins and things like that, isn't it? So
the thing is, when you look at that as well, Nick, like you've just rightly said, those 2 wins are a long time ago now. We haven't actually put anybody to the sword at La Rosaleda.
No.
When we do have the chances, we always create the chances.
Interesting. I was trying to see what else was going on around the grounds. But my internet is being very poor at the minute. As soon as I start to click on anything else, everything dies.
Yeah. Do we have a certain stream from La Rosaleda? Have we heard?
I don't think we will tonight. I've not noticed anyone. No, not yet.
No. I thought Carl might be gagging to get on the old YouTube. I think, yeah, I mean, I totally really agree with what Paul just said in terms of we need this second goal. There's going to be a game. There's going to be a game where we really get bitten in the arse for not taking chances when we're creating so many.
Yeah, so I'll get like sucker punched in. Someone scores
when did I miss
quick.
That double save, Nick? When did that double save happen? From Izan Moreno, the header, with the like Schmeichel starfish, and then that were a fantastic save. It was just showing you on highlights, and I can't remember seeing that.
Not too sure on that one at all. Not that these are games that will be affecting us too much, but at the minute it's also half-time in Madrid with Atletico Bay drawing 0-0 with Atletico San Lugueño. Early today, obviously, Castellón got a win 2-1 home to Real Murcia. Alcoyano, again, on the move, beating San Fernando 3-0 away. Alcoyano kind of doing bits at the minute. Melilla won today as well. I've not seen any of the results. These are quite surprising for me. Melilla won as well, 1-0 at home to Linares Deportivo. Ibiza, we knew, had won 3-0. Sueto 1-1 with Merida. 0-0 between Atletico Baleares and Cordoba. Recreativo Huelva beat Recreativo Granada 1-0. And Real Madrid Castilla drawing 3-3 with SCF Intercity yesterday, the game that Alex was at. So, yeah, kind of like a few surprise results in there, Luke, really, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, the Cordoba game earlier, they both ended up with 10 men, but Atletico, they had 10 men from about the 60th minute. And like we've mentioned on the pod a few times before, Cordoba are the very much informed team, and you expected them to take the 3 points. Even by winning this game mentally, physically we go above Cordoba, but mentally, just knowing we're above. Isaiah.
Sorry, Matt Harrison. We were looking at league tables.
Yeah, we were listening to all the results for about 2 minutes.
I was reading them off on a different screen. How are things at La Rosaleda this evening?
Very good. I think it's the best we've played in weeks. Some crazy goalkeeping has stopped there. We look really good. Atmosphere's good. There's a lot of Algerciras fans here. As far as the last game of 2023 goes, I think it's been fun. I still think we can win. Do you agree, Carl?
Luke, put big lights on.
Yeah, Carl's obsessed that you need to put the big light on. He told me this earlier about the previous recording. You need to put the big light. Steve here as well.
I bought a new lamp. I've got a lamp.
You need a ring light, Luke.
I'll find something. Matt, do we fully think the 3 points are staying in La Rosaleda tonight? Is there any chance of Algerciras coming back, do we think? Or, like you said, they played fantastic.
I think we needed that second goal, didn't we? I think we've absolutely battered them. It should be 2 or 3. I think that save at the end where, I don't know, is it Larubia and he saved the header and then took a second shot at it and somehow we got down?
That's the comment from Joe Fain. How is it only 1-0?
Yeah, I don't know if you're picking up on TV. We've really switched formation quite a lot. I don't know if you noticed that Kevin is playing as almost he's really, really tight to Roberto and Vioni. He's not playing out on the wing, which is interesting. He has been out there, but it's really noticeable during the game that he's not going wide. He's always pointing down the middle. So I've not seen him do that before. So Pellicer's, Carl's already noticed. I got very upset when someone kicked him earlier.
Yeah. I think he called him my Kevin. Don't kick my Kevin. Was the comment. I think Roberto has been fantastic. Roberto's been
good, yeah. They've all been good.
I love his hold-up play.
Yeah.
We were saying actually Dione in this game as well has been a lot more lively. And I think you're saying what you're saying as well, Matt. They're sticking close to him, aren't they? Which means he's not getting lost out wide. He's
everywhere, Dione. But they all are they all seem to be running around switching position. There's a bit at the end, the last corner we had, and Kevin's on corners, and he took one from one side, and then we got a corner the other side. And I looked at him, and Danny Sanchez took it because Kevin just looked and he just went I can't be fucked. He was knackered because he stopped running. And he sort of stood on the edge of the box panting, and then the ball went to him, and you could just see him go, "Fucking hell!" They're all good. There's no one really.
Really positive.
Really positive. What about Gennaro?
Gennaro was all right. These can't play as bad in the second half as these can't be as bad a team as I've seen. That's the only sort of worry. There might be a mistake. It's the only way I can see him scoring a mistake off somebody's backside or something like that. They're not a good team.
We're taking the piss because he called him Gennaro earlier. Also, by the way, for anyone that's on this, we are recording a Vamos episode. We have an amazing Chris Marquez urinal fork story, which he's told us about, which So there's a reason to listen to Vamos. I was like, I cannot believe we've not had this story on the podcast.
Miss it or miss out.
It sounds very PG, knowing Chris Marquez.
Sounds
It was
very
quite a
Chris
PG
Marquez.
version of it. But yeah, there was
Minimum 15.
If you used to say to me the story, who's told it me? Then I thought, yeah, Chris Marquez.
he was on good form tonight. Was Christopher?
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't even remember why we were talking about that. He was talking about his days as the barman, and again, I don't want to spoil it, but someone going to the toilet and Chris giving him a fork. How it's not come up on the podcast so far, I never know.
Chris Marquez has been the Kevin of the pre-match.
Something forward today. He was. Yeah.
But I'm very good form, very good fun. And lastly, just before you go, Matt, what do you think of the goal? Joaquin Gabilondo with the brace.
Yeah, we'd have to see it back, but it's just like it was. Tell you what, I've said after the goal, it was like it was a lovely through ball from Kevin to Danny Sanchez. That's not Kevin's remit. Yeah, good ball across the box. Yeah, he did well. To be honest with you, like that's the sort of thing this goalie seems to be saving. So I was just happy to see it hit the net. Really, it's
Fair man of the match.
yeah, their goalies are fucking dick.
I think the standard of goalkeepers in this league is actually quite good. We keep coming up against really good goalkeepers, don't we?
Yeah. It's irritating.
Is it a packed house, Matt? Is it a packed house?
Pardon?
Is it a packed house?
I was pretty fun today. There's a lot of away fans here. Not really seen away fans in town today, but
Close to the ground. Quite a few close to the ground.
yeah, lots around the ground. They've been quite. There's been no sight of them until getting into the stadium, I found. So it's good atmosphere. It's we're joined by Ian as well. Ian's with us. He's not sitting with us now, but he's he didn't come out for drinks with us today because he said he wanted to do something cultural.
I didn't take it personally.
So we're not very cultural, but
Matt, there's been a bit of talk on the live stream. Can we see that ever famous Christmas jumper?
I got Carl's So Carl's jumper is actually Steve's wife's jumper because Carl's cold. So
Steve's wife's Christmas present.
So Carl's wearing Steve's wife's Christmas present because he's cold.
Label still intact.
Label still intact. Yeah, only,
Case Chris's wife.
and also
Steve's wife's.
and also with my season ticket, only €26, which is what you pay for a Christmas jumper in Primark, I think, isn't it? So I was happy. And it is cold here. It's been like the blue sky today. Do not be deceived by it. It's cold. And I'm now terrified because obviously I'm going back to the UK in 2 days. I don't know how I'm going to cope in the UK, but we'll see.
You won't.
I'm going to go, lads, because I probably should record some sort of half one time Bams on the Rosaleda stuff. Probably be regurgitating this stuff, but enjoy the rest of the live stream. Bye.
Thank you very much for your time, guys. Enjoy.
Bye.
And we've been missing some form of tombola on the pitch. I mean, with Super Bokeh's doing something down there, but I was a bit distracted. Someone also texted Telegram group, Luke, said apparently there's some argy-bargy in the tunnel. Callum Priestley saying there's something going on in the tunnels. That'd be interesting to find out more if we can. I don't know if David Picon is on the job down there and could shed some light potentially. But I'm more impressed with this comment from Raphael.
Yeah.
Raphael says, Luke, you are Ed Sheeran de Malaga. You look a little similar. Vamos Malaga. I absolutely agree with Raphael here. You have got a bit of the old Sheeran about you.
I mean, how many sponsorship deals has Ed Sheeran got? Does he look after his face? I work in a factory. Well, thank you very much, Raphael.
Are you any good at playing the guitar? That's what I want to know.
I've got a different colour hair.
You dye that though, to be fair. You definitely dye that. How red you were that day when we went to the game.
That was definitely secret ginger.
That was a secret ginger. Closet ginger, that's what you are. But no, it was nice to hear the guys talking on there, the Christmas jumper looking resplendent on camera as well as it does on pictures. So Yeah, I don't believe them when they say it was cold, though. I bet it was cold, but it was still like 17 degrees or something like that.
I will admit I was a proud Yorkshireman earlier on when I did see Carl still sporting the shorts. I think it was the Burgos game last January. I got called every name from a pillock to all sorts because I had my shorts, and I was like, "Still, this is okay. This is okay, guys. I'm not trying to show off. This is better than home."
It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Brian Irving has joined us on X, and he has said, "Hello from Scotland, Vamos Malaga." Brian, welcome to the live stream. I've just come back from Scotland myself. A lovely weekend away in Edinburgh. Back in God's country. So let us know where you're from. You might not be too far from our good friend Paul Henihan as well. When he's not on the Costa del Sol, he's from around Dundee, or I think, Dundee.
I'm sure Paul's postcode is actually on the Costa del Sol these days.
And Raphael's also said, he says, "How happy and proud to find this channel with British people supporting Malaga. I've been living for 7 years in the UK between London and Ipswich. And that is so cool. Luke, you are the Ed Sheeran of Malaga." So that's maybe the link as well there with Ed Sheeran being a massive...
Raphael, I am not going to sing, though. I cannot sing, so I am not going to try. Maybe if we win this league, I will sing.
give us a nice tenor. So Brian says, just outside Edinburgh, but he'll be in Benalmadena on Tuesday. That is the dream. That is the dream. Right for us there. Christmas in Spain, is it, Brian, or is it just a couple of days beforehand? Paul, we were right about Dundee. I'm sure he lives in Dundee, or is it Dundee adjacent? I can't remember if it was a bit north or a bit south of or a bit west of.
All I know is he supports Dundee United, and don't ever just say Dundee.
No, well, I very much am aware of that rule.
Even Laura knows this.
Just Dundee, by the sound of things, just what he's putting there. Or he's being ambiguous on purpose so he don't turn up at his house for a free night stay. And go, Paul.
Yeah, he's gone straight with the Dundee.
Yeah. Very specific.
But just going back to Raphael, Nick, messages like that, they mean a lot to the Geary cast, don't they? That's what we're here for in terms of people who live in the UK, etc., to find out about Malaga and the passion what we've got for the club, etc.
It's what it's all about as well. You know what I mean? It's building that community, and Raphael, if you fancy getting more involved, you can go and follow us on X or Twitter, depending on what your version is. We've got a Telegram group, which is in the link on our Twitter page as well. So, the more the merrier is where we go for it. And Brian says, Barney Benzer, Christmas in Spain, and he's a Hibs fan as well. So we've got a wide church here of fans of other people as well. But we're just getting starting to get wrapped up for the second half. Sergio Pace obviously here on the pitch there, talking to lads as well, which I've not seen before. But obviously a big weekend for him as well, with his dad dying on, I think it was Friday, wasn't it, that he passed away. To carry on through that, to basically maybe work through the grief a little bit, but
yeah,
it's always great to see him. And like I say, we're coming up to just shy of a year now of him back in charge. It's hard to think this time last year we were under Pepe Mel. Just
like we say, we was relatively confident under Pepe Mel that we could have got out of it. Effectively, Pepe Mel, among other issues, is maybe why we are where we are now.
Potentially. Well, he looked to be a match made in heaven, wasn't he? He lived in Andalusia. He had a great previous link up with Ruben Castro. So I think the hope was to try and get a stung out of him by bringing in a manager that he was familiar with, but just didn't work out in the end. And I suppose it was a surprise when he was replaced with Sergio Pace there.
Yeah.
I think, and Raphael says he lives in Ipswich, and he supports Ipswich as well, which must be a great time to be an Ipswich fan at the minute. They play some scintillating football, to say the least, under McKenna.
I think yes, he might have hurt a little bit though. We're a late equaliser against the arch enemy Norwich.
I might have been. I know they did play each other this weekend, but I didn't keep an eye on it, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. Seems like a different world out there in East Anglia to me, to be fair. I met somebody yesterday who was from Norfolk. I was like, does it not take take you like 3 hours to get to the motorway. Freddie Hill says here that Gennaro was sent off at half-time in the tunnel. I think we missed that one on our Twitter feeds.
I hope not. I'll do a bit of searching.
Just have a little look at it. He's definitely not on the pitch so far from what I've seen. So I wonder why he was sent off.
Gennaro and Ivan Turillo have been sent off, so 10 man apiece.
Oh, right, I see. So there must have been some scrapping in the tunnel there.
Yeah. Very strange, because again, it's not really been that kind of game, I don't think.
Ivan Turillo, is that their centre back?
Ivan Turillo is their captain, number 8. So I'm guessing centre midfield.
Both captains.
So they're both captains. Yeah, strange.
So I wonder who's got the armband now for Malaga. It'd be interesting. Probably I would say maybe.
Herrero, just seeing it then.
Herrero's gone on to it.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is who's this down on the floor now as well? Doesn't look like he's moving comfy. I think it's David Larrubia. He's just pulled up there after that challenge.
Yeah.
He's currently on the ground. Looking like he's moving a bit quicker. Is that David Larrubia?
What minute are you actually on, Nick?
I'm on 46:30 odd.
Oh, I'm on 47:20.
Honestly,
I'm looking on it and trying to think. I don't know.
This is it. The app is so much better for this, isn't it? So
Yeah,
I'm on
it
47.
really is.
I'm on 47:30 right now. Is that in the ballpark?
Yeah, we're together. Yeah, we're here.
Right,
We're
that sounds fine.
here.
Oh, lovely through ball to Sanchez.
Finish, Dione.
What are you doing there? Why are you spinning round?
I think this is like Chris has mentioned before. With Malaga, there seems a lot of players got like these pirouettes and stuff rather than put your laces through it, see what happens, or put the ball in, etc. It's too cute sometimes.
Well, I was going to say Sanchez did really well to get on the end of the through ball from Kevin. It was really good football. But why Dione there couldn't try and get a shot away soon, I'm not too sure. But it's those kind of chances there where, we want to be looking to go 2-0 up here and put the game to bed, and we're just not. We're leaving ourselves susceptible to, the odd goal going in. But very much in the same vein as the first half so far. It all seems to be going Malaga's way at the minute.
Yeah, it really is. I'm just trying to do a bit of digging on this this double sending off because
someone gets the notification in the tunnel.
Yeah, for both get sent off, it must be. Well, maybe I know fists don't get thrown at these kind of. Mind you, in Primera, maybe fists do get thrown.
It might do. It can get a bit rowdy out there, can't it? But it sounded like obviously whatever altercation happened in the tunnel has resulted in both of them being given the marching orders.
So it just makes you think in terms of a ban. If it's going to be a 3-game ban, that puts Gennaro out of a very interesting Intercity game, a Ceuta, and potentially, if it's Copa del Rey or if not, Castellón at home.
It'd be interesting given the lack of midfield options that we've got at the minute.
Yeah.
But a big 45 minutes for Izan Marino, though. Let's see how he steps up to this then without, like we said before, that senior head alongside him. I suppose because they've lost a midfielder as well, there's not too much we should change, Luke? Or
No. I mean, we was pretty much hammering them 11 versus 11. If anything, it's going to open it up and create more for our attacking players, as you can see right now. Joaquin very high up again, good ball, but
it's good defending as well.
Again, I think these are really going to tire as well, Nick.
Yeah, well, we see teams usually blow up after about an hour, don't we?
Yeah.
When it's like this and we go for it. I think maybe, would you like to see someone like Aaron Ochoa come on here just to... Aaron Ochoa Maloney, sorry. Dear God, I fell for my own trick then.
I would definitely at some point. It won't be my first change, but
who would you
definitely like to see. I'm just going to have a look now, but I mean, I really, really like the look of Antonito.
Antonito.
The thing is, these younger players, have definitely jumped above in my eyes, Juan Hernandez and players like that, etc. The thing is, these young players as well, they seem to play with real maturity.
Well, the thing is, in there at the minute as well, in that midfield with the lack of or the loss of Gennaro, we've only got the two of them in the middle at the minute, and that one of them's David Larrubia as well, who we both know is naturally a lot more inclined to play further ahead, sort of off Roberto and things like that. So, just looking at it, it actually looks like out of possession of the ball that Malaga are just setting up two rows of five.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Into a centre back position, and Kevin, Larrubia, Dione, and Roberto are all sort of like sitting together.
I mean, we obviously don't know what's happened, but it really is a lack of discipline from. We'll speak about our captain. We don't really care about their captain. That's the real
challenge. That is going to be another card.
No. Well, he's giving me yellow. Jesus Christ, he got red out.
Red come out there, but if that was Einar, that would have been a
I mean, just like you were just saying then, Nick, in terms of his midfield, there is literally no options on the bench. Carlos Lopez, Bilal, Loren Zuniga, Musa, Danny Sanchez, obviously on Antonito, Alan Ochoa, and a young one, what must be Ariaza. So there's nobody to, and when you think your captain, your leader, again, we might be harsh. We don't know what's happened in there, but I mean, this is very, very. I mean, what have we got now? 3 players on yellows for something?
There's a few there. It seems to be a bit of a melee going on at the minute. Discipline seems to have gone straight out the window, and usually Sergio Pérez says not one to leave players with a yellow on the pitch.
I love to see that in Spain. The Algerciras fans with all the Santa hats on. It's Spain. We don't know Christmas as Spain. Get your shorts and t-shirt on.
Well, this is a dangerous position here for Algeciras. Like we say, we've kind of been scratching our heads a little bit to go, well, how are they as high as they are in the league? They've not really shown too much, but who knows? They might be bloody set-piece specialists at this rate.
This is
I think, lying down on the ground.
I'm not sure who said it, but a deflected goal, anything is literally all it takes to change a game. This could be it.
It really would be. Really, got more comments coming in. Bodyboard in Malaga says, "Boys, this is my channel." He says, "Vamos, come on." He says, "Next year we need to go up the league into the second league. Promotion is definitely the way to go. I think everyone wants to get back into Segunda the first time of asking.
Yeah,
it gets a bit dangerous if you don't. Look at Dayport, for example, a few other teams like that.
Prime example. Every year favourites to go back up, and I mean, I think they're currently languishing down in 10th or 11th in Grupo Uno.
Really would be. He says, Nick and Luke, look at my photo. Unfortunately, it's quite small on our screens at the minute. We might have to come and find you somewhere else.
If I click,
I'll have a little look on my phone at bodyboard in Malaga.
Oh, Algerciras just coming on to us a little bit more here.
Let's have a look. Let's have a little quick gander.
I think it's a Malaga. It's got to be a Malaga shirt.
Oh, it is. Yeah. It's the Champions League shirt when he's surfing as well. So it looks like. Oh, you've got to love that as well. Lots of surfing videos from the Costa del Sol too. So I'm going to say Rafa is the name that I can see on here. But if you go to Bodyboard and Malaga, you can see Rafa in his Malaga shirt in all its glory. The Champions League one, which I've just got as well. Finally managed to get from, and he says he's from Fuengirola too. Not too far from where I usually stay in La Cala de Mias as well. So thanks for joining us. I'm going to say it is Rafa, hopefully. If not, correct me. But cheers for joining as well. Are you tuning in from Fuengirola now? That is the question. Or are you somewhere else in the world with your surfboard and things like that? Do let us know as well. But yes, seems to be a lot gone off the pitch at the minute. But here comes Roberto for Malaga. Shot from distance. Oh, it's off the post. Oh, what a save. That is a great save.
I mean, Roberto there, he's created that all by himself. That's the
really
shift.
has, though, but
That's the
tell you
shift
what,
that not everybody sees.
you can't fault him on for that save there. That is a big glove just to knock it onto the post.
Oh, it really is.
Craig Bailey says Arsenal. I think that's maybe one aimed at you.
Yeah.
Luke Chambers.
There's so many Arsenal Malaga fans as well. The amount of pelters I get on Twitter. But yeah, you can't. I think they're doing an amazing season, Arsenal. You can't knock what they're doing. Unfortunately,
you could try. You could go on. Just have a go. Just have a
I
go.
can't, I'm a neutralist. I'm all Malagista, especially when they're above us.
Well, that seems to be the case in me. I think they got a result against Brentford, I want to say, today. But
no, Brighton.
Was it Brighton?
Yeah, 2-0 win over Brighton.
Oh, God, we might talk about
them.
So, no, this is the problem. I don't watch Premier League football all too often nowadays. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Brentford. Aston Villa again.
Yeah.
See what? I was laughed at for saying that Aston Villa are going to be finishing top 4 this season after the summer transfers that they brought in. And look at them now, a point off Arsenal at top.
Yeah.
Level with Liverpool on goal difference, 4 points clear of City, and 5 points clear of Spurs. 10 clear of United.
Yep. Unai Emery is the business. He really is. I personally think if Arsenal would have kept hold of him, they probably would have had a lot of earlier success as well. What did you like? Only a year? We think we're there a year, maybe.
I think for Emery, it's probably right club, wrong time. But he does seem to do well as well with clubs which are big clubs, but not like top of the league clubs. You know, look what he did with Villarreal before, Sevilla. You know, but when he goes to like Arsenal and who, you know, to be honest, I don't probably class them as a top club anymore because, you know, they've only won the FA Cup like in the last 10 years or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, sort of like your hyper clubs that you have now, your Cities, your PSGs, and it just didn't go right from there. But Craig says here, you lost the dressing room at Arsenal, and as soon as that happens, look at some might say that Eric Ten Hag's lost the dressing room at United now, but there's no one there to sack him.
Yeah, exactly. You see it so many times. And like you say,
what? Did you see that? Lovely outside of the boot pass that was.
Oh, you mean out wide? Yeah. You want 58-50, Nick?
Yes.
Yeah, with her.
We're on the same piece in here.
See, we had more than ever. I know we've said it a few times today, but we do really need this second goal because, if anything, they are getting
They are coming on to us now. Yeah, I'd probably agree with you there. Bodyboarding Malaga says when he goes to his trips to Indonesia, he always carries his Champions League shirt, Malaga shirt. It's a relic and it's got the stamp on it. And he's bodyboarding that's representing on a global scale as well.
That really is.
I know you always take your Malaga gear wherever you go, Dublin or Spain or on your day trips, wherever it might be. So you've always got to be repping.
Yeah, I think you've got to just purely for the look at the element of surprise when people think, what's that say? Malaga? Why? Well,
that's the reaction I get when I tell people I do a podcast. They're like, oh yeah, who for? I'm like, Malaga. Like, Malaga? What? I suppose the big question is, Rafa, is would you A, buy the new Christmas jumper, and B, would you bodyboard in the new Christmas jumper? That's what I would like to know.
It might get a bit heavy. You know, when the water gets on it does look quite a thick jumper.
I'm just going to say, for €26 with a season club ticket discount, I don't think we're talking wool. I don't know. I don't think we're talking a truly high quality garment.
Also, Rafa, I don't know if this is your first time, but there's 5 of us involved in the Geary cast, and we are actually the only 2 what are currently living in the UK. We've got Matt down in Marbella, we've got Chris in Benalmádena Pueblo, and we've got a certain Alex who he just lives in Madrid and works for Real Madrid, and it's no big deal really.
Yeah, I was going to say he just drops it in there, and I think to be fair, he's ditched us tonight to go watch basketball. If I recall the podcast,
No, he's actually in Santiago Bernabéu tonight for the Real Madrid Villarreal.
Right. I know he said he had 4 games in a row.
He's got a really bad life, bless him.
Oh, it sounds awful, doesn't it? Rafa also says he knows a great player from the UK leagues,
Connor
Chaplin, who, if I'm right in saying, he's at Portsmouth.
Ipswich. He's Ipswich.
Ipswich. He's here at Ipswich as well. A lot of Ipswich chat tonight. I quite enjoy this. It's not often a team that gets mentioned.
Yeah, I don't think
Oh, dear God. See, that's the danger that we're talking about.
This is all it takes. This is all it takes.
Just someone in behind.
The second time there, though, you could see the players are shaking hands after, but they know they've got to be sorting this out. Einar and Murillo again.
Yeah, too close to each other there as well. Aren't they? We don't need to be that close together. A second goal desperately needed for Malaga. Here it's got a bit dicey in there at the minute.
It really has. And normally we look at our bench and think about what we can change and we can kind of work it out. Tonight, yes, we have got these great youngsters, but it's the timing of these changes. We love Aaron Ochoa Maloney, but do we bring him in too early? Antonito. But what do we change? There's nothing really what stands out where you think that needs a change, or if anything, it would be the centre of the park, but we haven't really got anything for that.
Yeah, well, I think Paul's absolutely spot on what he says is we've fallen right out of this. We were in the ascendancy, we were dominating, and now we've kind of taken the foot off the pedal a little bit, and we're allowing Algerciras to implement their game. We're not pressing as high. We're not trying to win the ball back as much. And this is the danger. And I think we've seen this so many times this season where we stop for like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we go again for the last 10 and it gets really intense. And is it a tactic? Is it a strategy? I don't know, but I'm not a massive fan at the minute. I'd like to see Aaron Ochoa Maloney come on, though, just for a bit of energy. And he does keep the ball really, really well. And I think, dare I say, maybe sacrifice, one of our forward players.
I'd maybe like to see us go 2 up top to give us more of an outlet going forward. Maybe I don't either put Dione in the centre or maybe even a Kevin up with Roberto to play off him. But why have we gone so deep against these? I think Steve said it at half time. These are not a good team. And currently we're allowing them to potentially look a good team.
Well, that's it. They're having a lot more of the ball now, whereas beforehand we were keeping it. And like you say, you look at the way that we're set up a little bit at the minute, and you've got look where Roberto is right now.
Yeah,
he's behind Rubia and Dione.
I don't understand as Malaga in La Rosaleda. Why are we so deep? It's 10 versus 10. If it were 10 versus 11, yeah, granted, look after those points. But it's 10 versus 10 against a bad team. We should be in the ascendancy.
That's it. We should be knocking around fun, which is why I think, like say, Antonito or I think we're just missing something in that midfield at the minute.
Yeah, the flair, which how many times have we spoken about this season? The bit of flair is like a 10. David Lalubia does it in stages. Does he do it enough? I don't know.
Malaga at least putting a foot on the ball now, which is...
Yeah, I think they needed it. I think they definitely needed it.
Set and refresh. But look at where Dione is right now. You know what I mean? Maybe that's because obviously we've lost Gennaro in there, but he is very deep. And
I do think we've mentioned it several times, Nick, regarding Dione. It's as if he goes wandering. I know centre forwards and whatever he is, I don't really know what he is, but they go searching for the ball when they're not getting the ball. But do we want to see him as a number 8 sat on halfway, or do we want to see him out wide or further forward?
But again, we were showing the success that we were saying before and how close Kevin was playing to Roberto. Kevin's also gone far out on the left.
Yeah.
We really are kind of having to sacrifice what was working well in the first half because we've lost a player to a red card in the middle. That's what it is here. We're trying to stretch play now, and all stretching the play is causing us to do is make bigger gaps. You know what I mean? Algerciras seems to be happy with.
Just checking the Algerciras lineup. The Ivan Trillo did get sent off. He were playing as their number 10 just behind the striker. So I suppose they're pretty much in the same boat as what we are in terms of what they've lost. Whether they've changed anything, I don't really.
It would make sense.
I mean, when Matt said at half time that Malaga's changed formation a few times, I can't say that we really noticed it on the street on the match.
No, but at the minute, like you say, where Gennaro was with both him and Marino sort of sitting as a double pivot.
Yeah.
Losing that, I think, to be fair, it's not Marino's fault, but he's looking a bit lost in there at the minute. He's not got anybody around him. Larubia's joining up with the thing. There's just this huge gap between the back line and the forward line at the minute. So
exactly.
I think that's maybe where someone like Antonito or Ochoa Maloney can maybe sit a little bit further back than what Larubia would have done. But this is look where Dione is right now.
Yeah, it's as if Dione is being told to do that job or
to sit back in. Yeah.
Look at the shift.
Roberto there, that is brilliant.
Roberto he does that so well.
He does, but that's just a heavy touch there, really, isn't it? But
it's got very much a. I don't know, a leggy FA Cup tie to it now. Everybody looks knackered. And we've still effectively got 25, 30 minutes of this.
They're all ready for the winter break now.
Yeah.
They've got the holidays booked and everything.
Yeah, it's definitely been a strange second half so far. But like Rafa said, we need to win this match before the break of Christmas. We've said plenty of times that it's huge that we get this 3 points. Even a point's not good enough in my eyes, especially after being in a winning position.
No, I like to say to keep up the pace with those teams above us, we really, really, really need to be winning this game.
Yeah.
And like you say, January is a bit of a mixed bag. So just saying that here gives us that 5 point gap, still 2 points ahead of Cordoba, but still 6 points ahead of Recreativo in fifth, all the way down between where we are and Algeciras are at the minute. It's a massive 8 points, pretty much a 3-game turnaround. So it really does put us in that strong position going into the second half of the season. And again, when you're in that position and Loren's putting his list together of who to go and get, you look at the analysis of, oh, Jesus Christ. That's a mega save from Alfonso Herrero. He's kind of like had to pull it out of the top goal scorer.
Really is. Big deflection.
Huge.
Well, again, like we've just been saying, why have we allowed this? It's happened so many times this season. There's no need for this to happen.
No, we're letting them come on to us, aren't we? Which is not ideal.
I think you can see just there, Nick, there was just a little view. I think 538 is definitely out in force tonight. It looked a very packed area.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's a big deflection as well, to be fair. And to Herrero with a massive save there again, too. And then just body checked.
Maybe a bit of gamemanship. I don't think it's GBH or anything.
No, well, you've got a corner here, Algerciras. It's dangerous to say the least. But what I was saying before, Luke, is that Loren is going to have to look at the statistics, the analysis that comes in January, and how he does his shopping. If there is a chance that Malaga are very much still within the promotion picture, then your shopping list goes from one thing being maybe a little bit more ambitious. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's usually what happens. I'm not saying that's what will happen, but
I can kind of see it'll show what Lauren's about, because you can already see the interviews of, we have players coming back, let's treat them as new signings, something along them lines. Because granted, we have got big players coming back, but even with them, we just need that little bit more to really show that we want Segunda.
Yeah, there's a big missing here in the middle for me. Just looking at the way that Kevin was dispossessed there.
I'm wondering if like a Bilal can maybe, a real energy, a real dogged.
Yeah, something in there. Just along.
I think that purely shows how light we actually are in that position currently.
Well, that's it. Where's Juanpi in this game?
He's got concussion.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, I saw David Picon before the game put concussion. So I mean, in truth, this winter break, it comes at a perfect time for Malaga to just try and get a couple more back on the training ground.
Yeah. Well, you look at how you look at Sangali, for example. He was somebody who was, he had 2 or 3 games where he was stringing together performances, and then he's not been seen since.
I think Sangali's been a big miss.
Absolutely. Victor, whatever's happened to him in the warm-up, hopefully that's not too serious as well, because we've all just got him back. But
what seems a reoccurring thing, Nick, is I know we all have his views on our medical team and all that lot, and we don't agree with certain things, but a lot of our players seem to get reoccurring injuries, whether it's the same injury, but it seems to happen again and again. And I don't know if that's the level of players what we've got, or I don't know.
Ramon is the one thing. I think, to be fair, at this level, you do get it. Injuries are a lot easier to come by in this level than they are in the elite level, because it's a lot more of a dogged game, isn't it? Whereas, as you were saying before, the technicality that you get in La Liga and in the Premier League, for example, is that the football's played away from you. You don't get to see any of those massive challenges anymore. Or you don't get to see anyone going in for a finger. And they're so peak athletes that, if you used to say to them, run me another 90 minutes, they would do. Do you know what I mean? They've got it in
a very, very intense league.
Yeah. Whereas, here, it's not the same. Pressure's not the same level at all. And, players after about 70 minutes will start to blow up quite easily. It's more of the standard of the stuff.
Just coming away from the game for a second, Nick, whilst Malaga's got good possession, are you starting to get a bit worried for Ramon? I mean, for me, I love the guy as a player, and I was so excited to see him back on the pitch. And I don't know, are we going to see him this season, do you think?
I think we will, yeah. I think players in rehabilitation, they do have setbacks from time to time. It was never going to be a perfect picture, and his injury was so difficult as well, because it was different from the one that he had originally. Oh, we're definitely out of sync now, but that's with the goal. I've just seen it in there. But it's a lovely ball, and I'm going forward 10 seconds because that was.
We'll go again.
Yeah. How am I so out of sync with you?
That is what we needed.
Yeah, I've not touched this. How is it naturally just gone out of sync?
Yorkshire electricity, the best you can get, baby.
That is a massive second goal for Malaga, that as well, and Joaquin involved again.
Yeah.
For me, it might be hard not to pick him as Biznaga this week, because you can't be involved in both goals, perform so well, and not being with a shout. But
that is 100% what we needed right there. I mean, we were both big Dalmo fans from last year, Nick, weren't we? And we thought he was a big player to lose, but now getting Joaquin in. First few games, he wasn't attacking enough for me, but just recently, it's been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I think he seems to be really growing into it as well. Like you say, with the way Delmas plays, I don't think it's actually getting too much of a look in for Racing Ferrol. Obviously, again, they're having a great season as well, but yeah, I think Joaquin is somebody who has come with the CV as well. You know what I mean? Like, he's done really, really well at Real Sociedad. Well thought of in their setup. Clearly, well thought of enough for Lauren to go and bring him in as a senior player. So it's good to see him sort of hitting his swan song a little bit.
Yeah.
But what Paul says here, and Michael says, it's 2 now, get in. Paul says that should be game over now. Bodyboarder Malaga says, Domaya yummy. This should be it, really. That is a naughty challenge, that. Got to be a yellow.
I do think, like Paul's just said, bearing us doing something stupid. I do think a certain player from one of these two teams is going to do something stupid before the end of the game.
I think
there's going to be a red card.
Look at that there on
exactly.
Just no need for it, is there?
No.
Now Kevin's down as well with
Kevin,
a bad back.
Kevin's in a
I
mess.
feel you, Kevin. I get a bad back all the time nowadays.
Kevin's got that bad back because they're 2-0 up and he can see his winter break just around the corner. Get me in that early shower, guys.
You can taste it.
Get me out of here, lads.
Yeah. It's not far to the airport. He's already got his flights booked.
What a fantastic! I mean, that was a fantastic goal when you look back at it. The amount of passes what Malaga did.
Absolutely, and definitely looks to me that the fans are enjoying themselves a little bit. 15 minutes left on the clock, plus added time as well.
I think a bit of that,
2023.
quite a bit of that, Nick, will be relief as well. Relief
yeah. I think we'll have at least maybe 9, maybe even 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But they are back on the way. Kevin's made a little recovery. But if you're here with 15 minutes to go, you need to maybe start ringing the changes a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, for me now, this is where we see our man, Aaron Ochoa, Maloney, Antonito. I think that's
sad I don't get to see Manu Melida before Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, he used to like his 79th minute Lauren Zuniga. Maybe
definitely.
Roberto up now in a bit of the way of job done. Would you say it's job done, Nick?
I think it is, yeah. I think, like you say, we're starting to rattle them again now. This is maybe what we were talking about earlier when we were saying that we've taken our foot off the pedal a little bit. Now we're getting into that last 10, 12 minutes of intensity.
Yeah.
And you can see that Algerciras are getting a bit tired of it all. Look at that from a shoulder barge.
Exactly.
If you're a centre back there, there's no need for it really.
No, there isn't.
For me, you've resigned yourself to losing if you start chucking in challenges like that. There's a change coming on here.
Yeah,
it's Musa on the pitch for Murillo.
Oh, Musa and Antonito comes on for Murillo, and would you say Kevin? Would you say Kevin?
By the looks of things, yeah. So Antonito on for Kevin.
I can't really argue with that, Nick. I mean, I think Kevin's probably the most foul player in the league. As we say, we'd like to think job done, get him out of there.
Well, that's it. I think definitely with the what he's just had there going into his back, and obviously he had a little injury a couple of weeks ago, didn't he? That kept him off the pitch. Where the pacers just protect him a little bit there, but big corner in, flicked on at the back. Moose's underneath it. Nothing there, but yeah, those are definitely changes you would have made.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised to see a change up top at sometime soon as well. Like you say, Lauren Zuniga coming on for 10 minutes.
Just get Lauren Zuniga on for 10 minutes. Hopefully he gets his goal. Put him on that market. Get him that flight. See where he ends up, and best of luck to the lad.
Maybe he has a little quiet time over Christmas, a reflective period. Maybe goes on a retreat, zens out a little bit, and then looks at what he could be doing and what he's not doing. And maybe that's what the new signing that Lauren was alluding to.
Yeah,
we can dream.
I mean, the strange thing with Lauren is obviously we all know the Real Madrid story from the beginning of last season, etc. And his stats at youth level were apparently unbelievable, but he's just never looked right in a professional Malaga team kit, has he? I don't know, just the work rate, the ability, anything. I don't really understand what he's brought.
Yeah, it's the work rate that gets me. And again, I don't know, especially with having that number 9 shirt this season, apparently the money that he's on, that he thought, I should be starting every single game here. And then when he does come on, he's like, well, no, I'm not going to put the effort in. Maybe that's something to do with it. I don't know. Maybe it's a jealousy factor. He's seen the other academy products that he was playing with at Malagueño. They've all come in and established themselves with starting places, and he's not getting the same thing. I'm not too sure what I can put the finger on. Maybe he's just not a good footballer at men's level. It's one thing to have brilliant stats for the kids, but I
mean, I think
that being said, they don't play against other kids' teams, do they? If you're at Atletico Malagueño, you're playing against other, albeit poorer men's teams. So
well, this is I know we had a huge debate in the summer regarding youth, etc. For me, this is what I think you were in my court as well in terms of this is the perfect time to try and blood this youth. The experience what these kids are going to get from the winning mentality. We've all dropped down leagues and played blokes who have played for years and years who, I know it doesn't happen at this level. They're not going to kick lumps out of them, but these young ones will learn a hell of a lot from these kind of players.
No, exactly. Michael Phillips says, don't know if anyone asked, but what sort of crowd is it at La Rosaleda? It looks on the screen, for all intents and purposes, quite a full one. Quite well animated, not bad for a Sunday night in my view. I think they said they've sold an extra 6,000 tickets on top of their season tickets, which would put it roughly around 22,000, I think. So not too bad at all in the run up to Christmas. And Rafa says, how much time do we have to finish the game? We are now into the last 10 minutes at La Rosaleda, but we do expect with the stoppages we've had in this half that we'll definitely see maybe at least 8. I'm going with at least 8, Luke, for added
Nick,
time.
did you have a go on David Picon's Twitter feed before the game? It seems a bit over the top, but he will give away a Malaga scarf for the closest person to the correct attendance tonight. So when you said rough estimation about 22, then I put 22,850 something. So when you were asking the question, then I just went on Malaga's Twitter, but there's no there at the moment.
No, we're waiting for the big reveal. Maybe we usually get a text at half time, to be fair, from Chris Marquez that's shared, but we've not had it so far. But no. I don't think David Picon is going to send us a scarf from Spain. Not with the cost involved.
No,
it'd be worth 4 times more than the scarf.
10 minutes. Well, we say 10 minutes. I think you've just been on about it, Nick. I think there's going to be quite a bit of added on time. But I think these have run out of steam. I know they're currently on the ball, but they haven't got much quality at all. I don't think. I think Malaga invited the pressure for 10, 15 minutes maybe. The biggest bonus from this, if we can escape without no more injuries, that'll be a big plus.
Yeah, I was going to say everyone's going to look forward to a bit of a rest. Like you say, 3 weeks? Well, 2 weeks even. Oh, this is a good setup. Oh, good save hands from Herrero there.
It's a great save.
It's a good little layback there from Algerciras as well, to be fair, showing there's still life from the old dog.
Interestingly, Nick, the Geary legend, the Bar Benza legend, Mr. Keith Bell, on the mic as usual, has messaged me straight away. The attendance is actually 20,570.
Ah, see, right.
Say that Algerciras have brought a fair amount. I thought there'd be more. It definitely looks busy, doesn't it? I
thought that as well, to be fair. You would definitely think so. Maybe it's in the bits that we can't see. Maybe up in that top bit on the other side.
Potentially, yeah. You do generally get that, don't you?
Look at Roberto looking for the ball there. He's like just waving like this. Hello. Yeah. Come on. He's had a good game as well, to be fair. Again, looking at as far as Biznagas are concerned, it's going to be very difficult to pick a jumbo this week.
Yeah, I've got 2 at the moment.
I think I've just got 1 really, and it will be the one that I think most people will suspect, and that is Gennaro getting himself sent off at half time.
Oh, for Chumbo, sorry. For Chumbo, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, end of the day, the Gennaro incident, I know obviously it's 10 versus 10, but the Gennaro incident has probably encouraged them for that 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
11 versus 11, I don't think we're ever in doubt.
It gives them a reason, doesn't it? Which is never ideal.
Just going away, Paul Henahan. Roberto's been very good. Totally agree. Everything off the ball, lots of runs and tracking back. I think a lot of the time you only see more in the stadium how much of a shift he actually puts in. He works his knackers off for 90 minutes. So when he gets them goals as well, it's so good to see.
No, and it's brilliant for redemption for a striker as well, who, even admittedly on this podcast, we have given him a lot of pelters.
Big time.
He's brought himself back into the fold and made himself an indispensable player, really. We were even saying when Brescia put in that 800,000 euro bid from him, we'll drive him there, put him back in, we'll take him there. But now with his work rate, his goals have dried up a little bit, obviously not discounted today, but you know, he's as you say, it's the work rate he shows, the willingness he's going to go in for a challenge. He's definitely converted a lot of people into Roberto fans.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a prime example.
That's another red card. Who's that there that's just been given that one? Oh, it looks like it's Dione. Dione's now been given a red card as well. Second yellow.
So that's him out of Intercity as well.
It's just not what you want at all, is it?
It's just stupid. The game's done and dusted. And that's naughty.
There's just no reason for it. But we did say, didn't we? There is definitely another red card in this game.
Yeah.
So I didn't think it'd be for us, but
I didn't think it'd be Dione.
No. And what does that do now for Lauren Zuniga just stood at the edge of the pitch? I think he was probably going to be coming on for Dione as well. So Pacey might have to say, sit that down. Just daft, really. Just
it really is.
And from such a senior head as well, you know, that he's not a reckless kid. He's an experienced footballer. He knows that when you've only got 4 minutes left on the clock, there's no need to leave anything in on that. You're just putting us under more pressure here now because it gives Algerciras a reason to live, and there they go, goal straight away. That's them back into 2-1 now. That's the point we're trying to make now. You give them hope.
There are comment further up. There are comment further up from Paul, and bearing us doing something stupid. That is the stupidity, and now we've allowed a bad team straight back into this. Ridiculous.
Well, it's Pimienta with the goal for Algeciras, and Malaga have to ride this one out now. It's Einar who's playing everybody on as well. You know, again, if he'd have just stepped up, he's not though. But again, that's poor defending from a very senior head. It's the experienced boys.
Yep.
Which are letting Malaga down at the minute, and now they've got to see out. As you were saying before, Luke, not just the last 3 minutes of regular time, but we are going to see a considerable amount of added time as well. So, you know, this isn't over by any stretch of the imagination. And now Algeciras have got the added man.
I mean, Callum Priestley in the Burecast community says that was a bit soft. I thought he meant it.
Yeah, I was going to say, look, it was silly to leave anything going in there. It was a challenge that didn't need to be made.
Yeah. I think this referee, he's had a decent game, don't get me wrong, but he wants his cards out, doesn't he? He's
trigger happy. Yeah, very trigger happy.
So why? I mean, I dare say, if Lauren were coming on, you would have thought it was for Roberto. But with Dione on a yellow, it could have been Dione coming off, and just for the sake of that stupid, fucking honestly, this would be so Malaga now to concede a second goal.
Yeah, it is.
It changes everything.
I think this one is for Algeciras first for their number 9, so it's their number 11's coming off.
Yeah.
And double changes in. It could be strikers galore by the looks of things, because that's definitely a defender who's coming off.
Yeah. And this is the kind of stress we did not need right now, Nick.
No, exactly. Trust it to be Malaga to ruin Christmas in such a way. We'll just wait to see who Lauren Zuniga is actually going to come on for. But Michael Phillips, Paul says, we don't half make it hard for ourselves. Michael says, don't do a Man City, jump and balls it up. And then Frederick says, just classic Malaga if this goes to hell now. Big 10 minutes, says Rafa. Total control, and the red card just unnecessary. And just confirmation, it is Roberto. Applauding the fans who is going to be replaced here. Take your time, lad. No need to rush.
Yeah, walk off, mate. Walk off.
Just take the sting out of anything that they're doing here now, because this is going to be a busy bit of added time now. Just waiting for confirmation of what that'll be. It's 10 seconds of regular time remaining.
It's got to be 7-ish at least, I'd imagine.
Pacey's got to have a little look at that though, and try and figure out what's gone wrong there. You know, as far as discipline's concerned. Don't get me wrong, I think Algeciras have been shithousing this entire game.
Yeah.
Like you say, with some of the stuff that's been going on. But to lose 2 of your most experienced players, both in completely unnecessary circumstances, 5 minutes, only 5 minutes. That's a bit of rub of the green for Malaga, that's fair. I was expecting at least double that. given all the stoppages we've had. So 5 minutes for Malaga to weather here. Here comes Lauren Zuniga. That's a bad foot in there. Is this another red?
Well done, Lauren.
No, just a yellow for this one. There was a couple of players back there who had a couple of red cards.
I've got no issues with him laying. We all slate players what roll around and fake, but he can sit here for 3 minutes for me. The ref's currently waving the stretcher on.
Yeah, bring him on. Get that ambulance on the pitch.
Do we have another sub, Nick? Do we know? Or
we've had Moreno not Moreno come on, sorry. We had Antonito come on his own. Moose's come on alongside
Antonito. He came on with Antonito.
Anthony, who came on first then? No, we might do actually, to be fair. No, you might be right. Yeah.
So for me, get a minute, get Bilal or anything. La Rubia off, maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe take off La Rubia, let Marino go inside there with Einar and Musa and just see it out, let them just sit. So if we just in it only takes one little mistake to completely fuck up the whole thing. So
it's gone from looking a nice steady performance, a good performance even. I mean, we spoke at half time saying how well Malaga were. It was one of the performances of the season so far. To then, how the hell has this happened in his second half?
Oh, I don't seem to be giving up so far at the minute, though. Here's Antonito on the ball. Yeah. Marino also has not disgraced himself in this game. I think he's been quite good.
Yeah, quality.
Big shot from distance. All good. But I think, especially given the fact that Ganaro's, hung him out to dry a little bit by getting sent off, I don't think he's disgraced himself at all.
The good thing with these youngsters, Nick, is they don't look out of place. We don't speak about them too much. And that's a good sign that in a position like where Moreno's playing, you don't really talk about a holding midfielder. Now, he's a big boy as well, isn't he, when you look at him?
Oh, I think they all are, to be fair.
I mean, me and Nick aren't the biggest gentlemen.
No. These
Some
young kids are water down there in the Costa del Sol, isn't they? They grow them large. But, I don't think, like I say, there hasn't been anything really to complain about from their performances. And again, it's a big thing. Maybe the difference between this level and the Segunda is that you could tell when there was a young lad on the pitch. When Andres Caro came on, you were saying, "Oh dear God! Oh, thank God for Einar! Jesus Christ!" At least they're a free kick because he didn't give it to it initially, did he?
I've just wrote bad notes about Einar.
Who's fouled him as well.
Yeah. What was he going to foul?
I'll tell you what, Einar with a massive save off the line there because that.
How was he missed?
There was no chance that was a free kick.
Great defending, but how was he missed?
Oh, I tell you what, if you're an Algerciras fan watching it, that is your that is your big. How the fuck have we not scored that moment?
He's got to be there, Lauren Zuniga. Surely this guy. What is it, Milosevic, the big number 21?
Yeah.
I believe that may have been his first touch.
Massive let off for Malaga, that is as well, to be fair. But
taking the feeling that there's going to be, I don't think there's been many fans leaving the ground early tonight, surely. And if they have, there's got to be an early work shift in the morning. This has been fun.
Or buses to get back or whatever it might be. But Herrero taking his time. I imagine there'll be a couple more minutes added on beyond the 5.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Again, a couple of stoppages we've had there, but you cannot put a stake on the fact that Einar has absolutely saved Malaga 3 points if it stays as it is there.
Yeah.
The awareness and the intelligence to carry on playing, even though the keeper's gone down, because he's very much jumping over Musa here. It's a foul by our own goalkeeper.
How is it? I mean, whether it's a foul or not, how has he missed? He's hit it in the one place where somebody is. I think he's added one more minute, Nick. I think ref's just pointed over. Yeah.
So we're going up all the way through to 96. And what's he going to do with the ball here now? Nothing.
Playing it.
He says, "Get away from me." I'm winded.
Do you think that would have been a free kick, Nick, if he'd put the ball in the net? Do you think the ref would have had the cojones for it?
No, I don't think he's giving it as a free kick. To be fair, I think it's he's dropped it for
All right.
for Herrera to keep back. So I think he's seen the goalkeeper's gone down after the passage of play sort of ended, and pulled it back to make sure he could get some medical attention. So I think a bit of a let off.
I think here comes our last sub, Nick. No, full time.
Well, he's playing full time.
He added one more minute, and
he went straight to 96. To be fair,
look, they're kicking off now.
People are kicking off massively here, aren't they?
Well,
right. There's definitely going to be some more red cards. There's definitely more red cards coming here.
Luckily, the Malaga players are coming out of the way. Because Nick, we might get a game shortly. At this rate, we might get a game.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this. They can't.
Who's the guy in the Parker? Who's the guy in the Parker?
That's what you love to see as well. Though, look at that camaraderie there.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Algerciras can complain all they want. It doesn't matter. No. Malaga have got the 3 points there. It's 2-1 to Malaga. They've done well to sort of see the game out with 9 men as well. Obviously, be thankful that it happened in the 89th minute rather than the 69th minute. But we can't make any complaints. I think, like I say, everyone on here saying vamos, 3 puntos. Should have been an extra 3 minutes, but we'll take that, says Paul. A win before Christmas. That leaves Malaga in 3rd place in the league. 5 points off Castellón and Ibiza. We are back again against Intercity on the 2nd of January. So now we've got a bit of a break here to go, Luke. And it's looking quite rosy for the club, isn't it?
Yeah. Again, like we spoke about earlier, we could have maybe had a few more points, but with the heartache we've had for many seasons now, we take this all the time. And as you've just alluded to there, there's a real togetherness with this Malaga team. And I can only see better things coming. They just need to just use their heads a little bit more.
Yeah, just a little bit will do. Just a little bit more. But and just looking at some big saves from their goalkeeper in that second half as well as ours. So it was a much more lively second half. But we'll take it. So it is finished at La Rosaleda. 2-1 to Malaga. Goals from Roberto in the second half, and it was Hockey in the first half to give Malaga the lead. Then, after Dione got sent off in sort of the 85th minute, Algerciras grabbed a goal back almost instantly and gave themselves a little bit of hope. And then, if it was not for Einar in the very last knock-ins of the game, saving Malaga from surrendering a 2-0 lead, then we'd be talking about a different story. But it's not. It's 2-1, Malaga 3. Luke, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
No problems. I absolutely love doing this, mate. Love interacting with everybody, meeting new people. A good game tonight. A good game. We didn't need the heartache, but we've definitely got it. But again, like you say, Nick, 3 puntos. Vamos, Malaga.
It is. And I'm just looking at the Malaga players in Super Bokke celebrating in front of the sword as well.
How Super Bokke kept his job throughout everything, I don't know.
He must be doing it for free, but yeah, it'll be interesting to debrief. So we will have a podcast out on Thursday. We'll look back over this game and we'll have a little look ahead to the Intercity game after Christmas as well, as I said, on the 2nd of January. Thank you everyone for joining us on live stream once again. It is always appreciated. Your interactions, your comments, it really helps keep the channel going and the community serving us really, really, really well. We hope you all have a wonderful Christmas too. Whatever you're doing with your families or wherever you're getting yourselves away to. If you're spending it in Spain, we're very, very jealous. If you spend it in the UK or anywhere else, then we hope you have a lovely time as well. We'll catch you again during the week, but we'll see you back here, maybe, don't know, Luke, for the 2nd of January, Intercity away in Alicante. Have a Merry Christmas and vamos, Malaga.